What's going on, ladies and gents? Dalibor here for T3G, and welcome to another Tech Monday. Today, we're doing a very special Tech Monday. As you can see right there, we're talking about CES 2018. There are some very cool things. There are some very interesting things, but I wanted to talk about today, specifically, the weirdest things from CES 2018. Coming up. All right, so what we've got here, let me move the mic away from myself a little bit. I've got a very loud speaking voice. What we've got here is a list of 10 items / categories that I saw, and I'll be honest, I picked most of this up from CNET and throughout kind of browsing other people who have been there, people who went there, people who talked about stuff from the show. And what I'm going to be talking about first is, let's see, we're just going to Alt-Tab. Looks like it's going to be the SMA Circle. Not really sure why it's called that. I thought it was going to be Smart Cycle because that makes sense to me because it's like an electric bike. This to me, and this and things in this category do not make any sense to me. I get that there are cities, I think like Seattle is a big one, that they're really big on biking, and they have like a lot of bike trails, and there's a lot of really well maintained bike areas on the roads. I just do not understand this this obsession that some creators seem to have, some engineers, developers, I don't even know what to call them, with this foldable bike idea. Like, there's been foldable bikes for years, decades. But this, I don't know, this just seems to be just going to the next level. It's weird looking, first of all. It's just weird looking. Folded up, it looks like some sort of strange, I don't know what, circular saw? I really don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. Granted, I'm sure there are people who love the concept of it. I've watched Casey Neistat, take a ride on one of these small kind of, not this, but a similar kind of item where it's this really small, foldable, portable electric bike, and it just looks silly. It looks silly. Now, I understand that it doesn't matter if it looks silly. It can easily just be something practical to get you around town. And I can understand if you've got like a densely packed city like New York, biking is a huge way to get around. Biking, skateboarding, if you're a vlogger, boosted boarding for sure. This seems ridiculous to me. This seems like you're just going out of your way to make something with so many pieces that could break for the sheer purpose of saying, oh, I've got an electric bike. I mean, I can't even really call it that. It's like a little mini scooter. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it, and I think it's ridiculous looking. And I mean, that seat. What is that seat about? It looks like a speaker. I hope it's a speaker. Man, that might even sway me to be interested in something like this. But it just looks so dumb. It looks dumb. I don't get it. Moving on. The next thing, so this, these things. So this is the Shadow Blade, I think, the Blade Shadow, whatever it's called. And then this and the GeForce Now service. So this is actually a service, the Shadow gaming service. It's a streaming service for games. So there is, somewhere in the mythical cloud, there is a big PC that does all the things, and then you have this little box. You plug it into a screen and a controller and an internet connection, and now it's a high-powered gaming PC. And the same thing is done with the GeForce Now service. You need, I think, the Shield. So you've got the Shield device, and the Shield device is your home base, but it'll pull from your desktop your actual gaming, and you're going to use your desktop to play your games. And I don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, I'm not a gamer by traditional concept. I've understood this for a long time. I've admitted this many times. I am not a gamer. However, I can't understand gamers who would not only play wirelessly, but would play wirelessly and remotely. Think about it. You've got a wireless controller to this device, which is then remotely accessing the content through another device. I know there is this idea of zero latency, but that's just not feasible. Unless you are 100% in control of your entire connection, there's going to be dropouts. You're going to, like, I feel like it's something that would affect your experience regardless. I don't care. Like, I paid for 150 megs down. I have a lot of internet. I would never do something like this. I can't remote into my computer with all the graphics turned off and not have delay. How can a full-fledged game claim to come in at zero latency and zero response loss? I just don't believe it. I guess I would have to see it. I would need to see it consecutively and consistently for me to even consider such a thing. It's ridiculous to me. I think if you're gonna game, you make a gaming computer or you get a console. I think if you're going to do a thing, get the thing to do that thing. If you're gonna game, you get a gaming device. You don't like get a device to like get the game from somewhere else. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, it'd be like if you bought this $600, because how much is this? Hold on, let's take a look. If we hit pre-order, I think it's gonna take us to the Indiegogo maybe, or is this one's already funded? But let's see. So it's $35 a month. And then if you don't, and that's if you don't want the shadow box. Wow. So there's a subscription and the box. So the box is $140, which I think is comparative to the Shield. And then it's $35 a month. Now, granted, the $8 a month for GeForce Now is a way better price, but $8 a month, and I'm pretty sure, I'm fairly certain that these are your games, new games. No, okay. So they are streaming other games, because I was under the impression that with the Shield one that you actually had to. No, it says cast your games from your PC. Or is that something different than library? Paid included. Okay, so some of these games. So again, some of these games you still have to pay for. So some of them are included with the $7. Some of them are you have to still pay more money. Includes Steam Digital Key for PC download. I don't know. But then again, you're still having to get these games to then stream, and I think this is without that step. So you don't have to buy the games. So it's $35 a month. So it's like Netflix for games, which I get, but it's expensive, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't believe in the idea of remote gameplay. I just don't. It doesn't seem practical. It doesn't seem enjoyable to me. I mean, like, what if something happens? What if you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna hook this up to like my hotel TV, and they've got the internet connection that I need, or whatever. Or not even a hotel. Let's say you're staying at a friend's house or a family member's house. You're visiting family in another state or another country, and you know they've got the right connection. You know they've got the 50. It says at least 15 megs down. So let's say they've got 30 megs down, right? They've got 30 megs down, and you connect. You're thinking, I'm good. But what if that 30 has delay? What if that 30 is only at peak times or non-peak times? Like, there are all these things that come into play when it comes to internet connectivity, and I just don't believe that you could trust something like that when you want to game, especially if you want to game for real. Like, if you want to play with some purpose. Now, the next thing. This I just wanted to include this because I think this is the silliest thing I've ever seen a major manufacturer do. These are what are they called? The bezel-free kit makes your multi-monitor setup look seamless. And it's essentially like a little, does it have? Yeah, it's got close-ups. So it's this like mirror thing basically that kind of tricks you into seeing that the screens are blending together. It doesn't actually do it's just like, it's literally smoke and mirrors. And it's the silliest thing The kit's optical obfuscation work at a specific angle. So this only works if you have a specific configuration. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Why is this a thing? How much is this? This is get a glimpse. Oh, it doesn't say how much it's gonna be yet. It's silly. It's so freaking silly. Like, I don't know. Just make cooler monitors. Make bezel-less monitors. That's a thing. That's on the other list. That's for next week. There are bezel-less screens now, and I mean truly bezel-less. It's nasty now. It's nasty out there. So this just seems like a half step, like a worthless half step. That's all the time I'm giving that one. This thing. Oh my goodness, this thing. So this is the Numi toilet. What I want to show you guys is this picture right here. They expect that this is going to be like in someone's living room, just as a display piece. It's a toilet. Why on earth would anyone put that just in the middle of their living space? Why? Why would anyone ever do such a thing? They wouldn't. Exactly. This is ridiculous. It's smart and it knows things and it can play music and it's got ambient light. Who cares? It is a toilet. This is the most ridiculous. Look at it. It's got Ethernet ports. This is dumb. This is dumb. And you can't make a stylish toilet that someone's gonna put in their living room. That doesn't work. No one's gonna do that. But on top of that, I want to talk about, there was a bunch of like smart bathroom stuff that people did. And one of them was this mirror that kind of tells you if you look like crap. And that's weird. It's weird to me. It's like, hey, maybe your outfit doesn't match. Maybe you need to lose a few pounds. Like, yeah. Higher magic mirror, and then they've the mini. And I think that's analyze your skin, track any skincare goals. I mean, like, I guess if that's important to you, that makes sense. I mean, this one is the voice lighted mirror. Who cares? It's a mirror. Put a nightlight in your bathroom if you need to. Just, not everything has to be smart. Not everything has to be smart. I don't need my chair to be smart. I don't need my fridge. I get that. There is like a utilitarian purpose to that. If my fridge is smart, it makes sense. I can be reminded to buy groceries. I can be like, wait, do I have onions? Let me pull up the image of the fridge. By gum, I've got onions. I don't need to buy any more. That makes sense to me. But it's like, unless the bathroom mirror can be like, yo, you're out of aspirin. I don't understand why, but how often are you buying aspirin? It just doesn't make sense to me unless it has some sort of utilitarian function. Besides, here's the weather, because my phone does that already. My 14 voice assistants that I can remotely access that have nothing to do with my bathroom all do that. Unless it does something utilitarian, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's dumb. Why do I need a smart, why does it need to know, why don't you know what the temperature is while I'm in the bathroom? I'm still getting ready. I don't care. I'm still in my house and getting ready. Don't care what the temperature is outside. Do not care. I mean, maybe some people do. And I understand there's a market for everything. There is 100% a market for everything. Somewhere, someone will put this stupid toilet in their living room and be like, yo, check this out. Take a pee on it. Let me watch you take a pee on it. Someone's gonna do that. Somewhere, I'm sure of it. I am certain of it. But it's dumb. It's still dumb. It doesn't make it any less dumb. And I think it's just a waste of energy. Like, the guys that came up with this smart toilet could have come up with something else. Maybe, I could see this if it was for, medical application. Hey, we need a stool sample. Instead of a bunch of people handling your stool sample in this hospital, why don't you go sit on the smart toilet? The smart toilet's going to collect the stool sample. It's going to send the analysis directly to our computers. Well, no one has to touch poop. That, I think, is genius. But if you want it to be stylish in someone's living room, I think that's stupid. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking with it. Moving on. I'm gonna leave that one for next. I want to talk trash about these headphones for a little bit. I get get high-end headphones. I understand, and this someone says that it's for audiophiles. The quality is ridiculous, but it's also takes a SIM, and they cost $5,000 so that you can stream music while you're not at home or not connected to some. Your phone's always with you anyway. Who cares? Why do the headphones need to be completely tetherless? Why do the headphones need to be cellular capable? I will accept the argument for the stupid Apple Watch. I will accept that. That is, you can give me an argument as to why you are taking everything off of yourself except the thing that's literally attached to your hand and going for a run. That makes sense. It's got it's got the GPS, it's got the cellular. It makes sense to me. You can stream music to your headphones. But why do the these are not little headphones for running. So it's not for running. Don't tell me it's so that you can take, so you don't have to carry your phone with you. It's 2018. Who doesn't carry their phone with them? This is just an exercise in grandeur. We're going to make the most expensive, gold-plated, LCD screen headphones possible. And we got this 4G connected $5,000 piece of garbage. I just do not understand. Again, I'm sure there's a market for this. Somebody who just wants to blow money and wants to have the coolest, hottest new thing. Sure. I'm sure Lou at Unbox was going to get one of these to check it out because he's an audiophile. I'm sure he's going to enjoy them. I mean, I hope he's going to enjoy them. I hope that at $5,000, he's going to put them on and be like, oh my goodness. That's not how he reacts to things. I'm just saying that's how I would react if they were that good. But if they're not good, if they're not just out of your mind good, that's even more of an argument as to why this is garbage. Moving on. Let's talk about robots. Y'all. Robots, we're spending a lot of time on robots. I don't understand it. I get mobility assistance stuff. I mean, for instance, this is a mobility scooter. So it will take you places. Get that. Totally get that. When it comes to technology to help people who have mobility issues, who have health issues, I completely understand it, 100% and behind it. But why is science spending so much time on 3EC18, C3PO over here, to bring you stuff in a box and give you a tabletop? Where is this useful? Where in your home or your living space or generally around there don't you have a tabletop? Or if you are on the go, where are you charging the little bastard? This is stupid. We're spending way more time on robots than is necessary. Something like this is to me an autonomous vehicle. This is not a robot. I think those are two different things. This is an ATV that you can then strap a bunch of stuff to, send it up a mountain into like a fire or whatever, that you don't have to send people. That completely understandable. And like even dogs, I get, like pet things. Again, that's like emotional therapy. I get it. Cleaning stuff, sure. If you're lazy and can't run a vacuum, which is mostly automated anyway. This thing super creeps me out. This drive to push the boundary of what, I forget what it's called, but there's that barrier of where it's not quite robotic and not quite human, and like that's what they're trying to get into, and I don't like it because I've seen Terminator, I've seen iRobot. Both of those end really poorly for a lot of people. I don't think this like humanoid walking robot thing is something that we need to be spending time on, and I think it's kind of silly. Next, I want to talk about the biggest thing. I'm pretty sure this is the biggest thing that was at CES physically. This is the Volocopter. This is a passenger drone with no pilot. And that is the most terrifying thing I've ever heard of. Just from the concept of people having died in airplane and helicopter accidents due to simple mechanical malfunction. If there's no pilot, what are your odds? What are your odds? I mean, if someone could look that up, drop it in the comments. What are the odds of surviving, just surviving a crash in an aerial vehicle without a pilot? Without someone who can be like, yo, let me hit the rudder this way, flaps this way, we could maybe get a glide and smooth it in. No, without a pilot, if, God forbid, the electrical system goes out, you're done. It's over. It's say goodbye. Say goodbye. Whip out your phone. If your phone's still around, say goodbye. I've loved you all, and here's where the money's held. They said that it took the Crown Prince of Dubai on a 15-minute flight. Cool. He has way more fortitude. We're just gonna say fortitude than me, because I would never get in one of these. Never in a million years. Never. No. Even if they made one that was like guaranteed up to 15,000 pounds, if it was like commercially available, I'd be like, I want the one with the dude behind the wheel still. Yeah, I want that one. Because, again, the simplest mechanical failure, and you are a brick falling from the sky. No, thank you. We're down to our final three. We're gonna third. This is in no particular order. I think this was first on my list. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life. I think this might be. No, it's not sillier than the monitor thing. I think the monitor thing's real dumb. But so these are snow globes that have essentially 360. It's like a screen. It's like a projector within the snow globe, and it's got this like. I don't think I've got the audio off, so regardless, you can tilt it, and you see like the shots of this 360 image. Really cool in concept. It looks super laggy, so like it's boring, because then you're just like, hold on, let me get the whole image. It doesn't, like, it looks like it's a picture and it's trying to load different angles of this panorama or 360 image, and that's not practical. I don't know if they showed something better at CES, something that actually shows video, but even then, you can't upload your own stuff. So it's like, here are these 35 preset 360, let's say they've got full HD video and you can just turn it at will and see whatever you want. That's still, they've got 100. They've got 100 preloaded scenes, and that's it. When it's it's 2018, it's fairly simple to capture 360 video. So if I can't capture the video to put into if this is not a, what were those things that people loved for the longest time? Digital photo frame. If this is not a digital video frame, then it is the probably most expensive paperweight around. It says, the final version will utilize a high definition screen and a 4K 360 degree video. I don't believe it, because I found no other newer videos. I just saw a few clips from the show, and I don't think there was any close-ups. This is the best I've seen, and it's not good. It's really not. So I wish them luck. I think this could have potential if you can bring in two things. It needs to be Bluetooth or Wi-Fi compatible. You need to be able to Chromecast 360 video to it. I need to be able to say, I went out on this beautiful snow trip, got this amazing shot at the top of Mount whatever, and I need to be able to put it in there. Because if I can't, at some point, I don't care what the San Francisco Bay Bridge looks like in the winter or the summer or whatever. I just don't care at some point. At some point, it's like buying a photo frame and just leaving the photo that it came with. Why do I care about that photo? It like I said, it has potential, but it's got a ways to go. I can't decide which one I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save the other one for last. Right now, we're gonna talk about the Power Egg drone. Now, the Power Vision is actually one of my favorite new things that I've seen and that I've heard about as far as a company goes. I think they've got a lot of really cool stuff. I'm going to be talking about one of their other products in the next video. My problem with this is that it's so stupid looking. Why does it need to be an egg? I get that the camera is free float, but you can achieve that by just having the legs pull up, and then you have a free floating camera underneath the drone. This is achievable without it looking like this stupid egg. I watched the video, and you can't conceptualize what this thing is until you see someone. There it is, right here. So she climbs up somewhere, or not, maybe not up a mountain. So she got this bag. She got a bag on. Look how enormous that thing is. That's not practical in any application. Now, granted, if that gives it like some sort of incredible battery life, if it's some sort of, 2.5 hour, 3 hour battery life, and you can put on a whole stage show and drop a 360 panorama from the top, beautiful. I just don't think it does. I don't think it does because I haven't seen that yet. It's still only 4 blades, 4 propellers, so like it's still a quadcopter in concept. It's just oval and tall. It's dumb. It's so dumb. I want it to be really cool, but it just looks impractical and enormous. I will give them huge props though for the Sega Genesis controller. Love the Sega Genesis controller. I'm just, man, I want this to be cool, but it's not. It's so hard for me to even believe that it can be cool. It's got some really impressive specs. If we look at the actual specs on the aircraft, it's 5 pounds. It's pretty damn heavy. It's huge. See, it doesn't even have the comparison. Let's see. Closed. Let's see. Closed in inches. Not squared. I don't want it squared. Fine. So 6 inches wide by 10 inches tall. So that's like this paper towel dispenser. Like, it's bigger than my head, and I have a big head. It's so impractical. It's so freaking impractical. It's probably height-wise what the Phantom 4 is around. And that's not practical, because you look at anybody who talks about drones, anybody who's experienced drones and used drones, it's simply impractical to have something that large with you for any kind of realistic use. And it's just this giant stupid egg. I don't get it. I don't get it. Again, market for anything, but so dumb. Finally, I want to bring up the Gemini PDA. Somebody thought, man, you know what people are missing in this world? PDAs. Even though your phone can do anything you want it to, it'll do it. You can order a flight and a Big Mac from the same thing. It'll take all your notes. It'll record HD video. It'll do everything. You can run an entire business off of it. Asterisk, I do not recommend running a business off a phone without any sort of backups. Always have backups. Always have backup devices. I do not want to miss an opportunity to say that. But they were like, but you know what you need? A keyboard for your phone. I mean, just off of a cursory Google search, Bing search, whatever. a keyboard for your phone. Now, clearly not as elegant, but this is not a solution that didn't exist, nor is this a problem that needed solving. Here are the other questions I have for this stupid device. How do you make a phone call? It says it takes a SIM. It's got cellular technology. Can I hit discover? No, this is the discover? Technical specifications. Okay, so micro SD and SIM slot under cover. It comes off? Okay. Stereo speakers, headphone socket. I will say, USB-C connectors, aces. There are some things about this that make it a really cool concept in maybe Android desktop. If you hook up that USB-C to an external monitor real quick, that could be your presentation. There's possibilities here. But there is not. I mean, like, it's got LT right here. Look at it. CDMA, it's got everything. CDMA, WCDMA, LTE, everything. Everything. But how do you make a phone call? Do you open it, dial, and then close it somehow to then still have some... I just don't get it. I don't see it. I don't... Like, there's no... I'm trying to... Where's the video? Is it... I think we gotta go to the Indiegogo page. There's no real... Like, are there more pictures here? Right, so... There's no phone thing. Yeah, I don't care about the video anymore. So, I'm sure, yeah, the stereo speakers, I'm sure you could have a mic underneath at some point here, but do you open it and then dial on the screen and then close and then put the outside to your head? Like, how do you make a phone call? Or is the SIM slot just for data? Because then that seems excessive. I mean, I guess that makes sense. But again, why do I need a phone-sized thing with a keyboard? Why don't I just get a keyboard for my phone? Then I can get it unfolding and bigger and just... Because again, if this is not meant to replace your phone, then it is supplementary. And why am I buying? Let's go down to the bottom. Where is it at? Right here. $400 keyboard, essentially. Seriously. Why? I mean, again, I see the potential. I see that there is possibly a market for... I mean, clearly there's a market. There's at least does it say how many people? It doesn't say how many people. Regardless, 1.6 million USD. There's a market for this. But I don't think it's any more than those $1.6 million. I don't think this does not sell. This you put this on the shelf at Best Buy, this does not sell. For sure. PDAs died because cell phones became smart and you could PDA on your phone and do everything on it. It's the same reason nobody buys electronic translators anymore, because you could Google Translate with your voice. You don't even need the app. Like, again, this is such a niche product, and it just seems like somebody... It seems in a lot of these situations, people are just digging into these little like niche groups, and essentially you're gonna milk them until it's dry. And I think that's dumb. I don't think... Let me rephrase that. I don't think niching down to an audience is dumb. I think you could definitely... pick your target audience and say, these people, let's say lawyers for some reason really need this. Cool. If you are solving a problem for a specific group of people, absolutely. I'm again 100% for smart toilets in hospitals to help with whatever, collecting stool samples. But if you're expecting me to buy this, why the hell would I buy this? Why on earth would I buy something that I already have and is smaller and better in every way? the keyboard, because their opening line in the video is, we find that it is very difficult to type on the screen. Very difficult. I think that's incorrect. I think they started this project in 2008 when it was very difficult to type on screens, and just ignored the touchscreen developments over the last 8 years. It's just, it's impractical. It's impractical. There's, again, if it's meant to be a phone and not just a data device, how do you make a phone call? Is it meant to just work with headsets? Because then you're, again, making people, like, that's huge. She's trying to make that real, like, smooth and slick. That does not stay in that pocket. First of all, that pocket is not intended for large things at all. Those that design of jacket doesn't have very deep pockets. It's more of a design aesthetic for like a little thing here and there, not for a big ass PDA. But even such, she's trying to make that look real smooth. But that's exactly like when the first Notes came out, the 5.7, the 6.0 screens, and you put this enormous thing in your pocket and you try to make it look cool. Like, it wasn't cool. Realistically speaking, this is still an enormous phone. Granted, way smaller. Like, I think this is the same physical size as my Note 3, but it's got way more screen and way more features. But when the Note first came out, it was, 4.7 inch screen, and it was this enormous thing. And now it's like, you've got 5.7 inch screens in the same body frame. It's this, I feel like I've gotten on a tangent there. Going back to this, it doesn't seem practical. It doesn't seem practical. It has this real niche appeal that, I guess, if you just hate typing on touchscreen and and again, I understand if you want to do things in a landscape fashion, and if you pull up the keyboard, it takes up half the screen. I understand the practicality in some senses. If you type a lot on the go, sure, this could come in handy, but then you're thumb typing across this really wide thing and have to actually have physical presses, which is gonna affect, in the long term, it's gonna affect your hands. You could be at higher risk for carpal tunnel, because if you talk to people who type a lot, they're at higher risk for carpal tunnel. That's just how things work. So touch screens, you don't have to type. If you use swipe, it's less of a up and down thing, and it's just this, it's less of a motion, and you type faster, which means you use your hand less. I'm sure there is a market for this. I'm beating a dead horse, but I'm sure this is gonna. I just don't think that beyond the people who put in this $1.6 million, this would sell at all. I think people would see it and they'd be like, "What on earth is this?" I think the closest thing to this that is modern and has potential is that dual screen from I want to say it's Huawei, but I might be wrong. ZTE, I think it's ZTE actually. It's that dual screen, both are screens, but now you have double screen size, and now you can have a 5.5 inch screen that you can type on while you have a 5.5 inch screen to look at. So I think there are benefits in both directions, as far as typing on screen versus typing on keyboard, but I do not think this is a practical device, and I don't think this sells at all. That's it for this one, folks. Just a bunch of oddballs, some weird stuff, some stuff I just clearly just wanted to talk some smack about, but that's kind of my takeaway. Again, I picked up most of this list from CNET and around the internet. Hopefully next year I have possibly a hookup that I might be able to tag along with to go to CES next year. So hopefully next year we cover it on the floor, or at least get some footage on the floor and talk about it after the fact. But for this year, that is my top 10 weirdest CES categories, I guess. CES devices. I don't know what to call it. We'll see what I'll call it when I upload the video. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.